What's up, guys? Welcome back again to your Heroclix headquarters. Today, I just came back from winning my local ROC Qualifier event, and it was a pretty stacked event. There was a lot of great teams there, and I played a ton of really close, really fun games. So I actually managed to get the win this time, which was pretty huge. I could not believe I actually managed to walk away with first place. So I'm going to show you guys the team that I played, and I'm going to go over the strategy a little bit. And there's also going to be some gameplay videos of the top 8, top 4, and the final game coming out later after this video. But without further ado, let's jump right into this. Let's start things off with the MVP himself, Wongers. Wong from the Disney Plus Next Phase set. This dude definitely just took home the gold for me today. So going over his card here, he has the Avengers keyword, which makes sense because this was an Avengers themed team. He's got the Power, Cosmic, and Mystics team abilities, which are great. And then he has this really cool trait that if he's adjacent to exactly one opposing character and neither is adjacent to any other characters can't be moved or placed adjacent to either of them and can't target either of them. That's pretty cool, and I never used it. Not once did I ever even attempt to pull that off. He was always adjacent to some of my friendly characters, and we'll get more on why that was here in a minute, but he has this amazing special movement power that gives him phase teleport, plasticity, and when Wong uses phase teleport after resolutions, he can use flurry as free. So he's got that for most of his dial there with precision strike. He's got a little bit of impervious to start with, into some invuln, and finally toughness. And then he's got a lot of his special damage power as well, which is exploit weakness, probability control, and giant reach 2, which is nuts. And then he also has a stop click with super senses and toughness. And when this click is first revealed, immediately place Wong up to 3 squares away from his current square. Honestly, I never did that either. For a while, I kind of forgot that he could do that. But to be honest, most of the time, I just didn't want to place him anywhere. Like, he was fine where he was, and I didn't really feel like doing that. But yeah, he's got really great stats with that 12 attack precision strike top dial, 18 impervious, 3 damage. But we did play this guy with a couple of deities. So for starters, on the sideline, we had Chthon, who has, of course, the amazing ability to +1 all stats on a mystical character. So if you don't know, it's because of the sideline active trait that at the beginning of the game you can choose a friendly character with a mystical keyword. So technically you can actually choose a different character at the beginning of each game if you want to, but I always put him on Wong. And then this game, that character modifies all combat values +1, and when this character is given an action token, if they are not named Chthon, deal them 1 unavoidable damage. So of course, Wong is not Chthon, so he'll take the unavoidable whenever he takes an action token. But we balance that out by also playing him with Amit on the sideline, because Amit can choose him as her avatar, with the Avatar of Amit trait, which is sideline active, and during forced construction, you may pay 10 points to choose another friendly character to be Amit's avatar. If the chosen character has the Herald keyword, pay 0 points instead. That character can't be equipped or chosen to be any other character's avatar. This game, Amit's avatar can use poison and steal energy, and also scores the points that you paid for this trait when KO'd. So he, for the extra 10 points, gets Steal Energy to counteract Chthon's unavoidable damage, and also just gives him a lot more survivability because he's flurrying for most of his dial, so he'll actually be able to heal 2 and take 1 from Chthon. Because he takes 1 damage as soon as he gets an action token from Chthon, he then heals 2 from the Steal Energy after resolutions. So he has a lot of built-in healing to counteract that. And the +1 all stats is really great because it also modifies his speed value. So he's only got a 7, but that bumps him up to 8. And that extra +1 is really crucial sometimes. But yeah, he has 13 attack, 4 damage then with the exploit and precision. So he's doing a ton of damage just by himself with the phasing and flurry. But to combo with him, I'm using one of my new favorite characters here. Well, kind of older favorite character now. She's been around a while, but Miss Marvel is just so good. I think I called her a new favorite character because I just have not had the chance to use her until a little more recently. and she's just so insanely good. One of my favorite figures in Modern Age right now. She has the Avengers team ability, so at the beginning of the game you can choose a team ability to get that +1 attack against. She has Traded Close Combat Expert and Shape Change. Don't forget that. That's really important. I am playing her at the 50-point line. So she's got that 18 invuln, 2 damage with Empower, which is really important. Quake, and then that Special Movement Power, which is the main reason we're playing her. That gives her free, choose one to last until you choose again. Tiny size, and when an adjacent character begins a move after resolutions, you may place Miss Marvel adjacent to them. That's not once per turn, so if multiple people move, you can keep placing her adjacent to them. Or you can get regular size and flurry, or colossal size and charge. All very good options. The most important thing is turn 1, you want to choose that tiny size for your, when you're moving Wong, then she places adjacent to him, and then, it's until you choose again, so on your next turn, she's still tiny, she gets that placement, and then after she's already up there, she can choose one of these to switch to and get a flurry, or get a big charge, colossal size quake on everybody. She's really good, and with the Close Combat Expert and the Avengers TA, she's going to be able to get herself up to a 12 attack pretty easily, but she also has that Empower. So after resolutions, she places herself adjacent to Wong, and that gives him the Empower for his flurry. So now he's flurrying for 5 with Exploit and Precision because of Chthon and her Empower. But wait, that's not all. I also played for 10 points the Baby Groot Bystander from one of the next phase, like chase boosters and stuff, wherever you get those. This one actually I think specifically is one of the ones you get in the chase boosters, because there's another one you can get in one of the pizza boxes. This is not that one. This one is in the chase boosters. So we're just playing it for the Empower, tiny size Empower. That's all you need it for, just to carry up with Wong, because Wong can carry him and she can still place, because that's not a carry. Wong carries the Empower here. And that way, between the 2 Empowers and Chthon, he's flurrying for 6 penetrating Precision Strike. And the Empower also helps her with Close Combat Expert, bumping her up to a 4 damage for her flurry. It's really, really strong. So, And also, I forgot to mention, I am also playing a little something extra on Miss Marvel, which is another avatar. We're giving her Towerit, the big hippo lady. She's freaking awesome, and she really enhanced my Miss Marvel quite a bit, I think. So she has the exact same avatar trait as Amit, but this one gives her support and outwit. So that outwit was pretty handy. Once you get up in the fight with Wong and her, she can outwit, and then she can flurry. She doesn't have any exploit or precision, so that helps her get her attack damage in. That's pretty great by itself, but also having support definitely came up in one of my games, because there was a game where Wong kept getting hit onto his stop click, and he just couldn't finish him off, and I just kept supporting him with Miss Marvel to get him back up to his phasing flurry clicks. Actually, I would first heal him off of the stop click and then support him, because of course we had Black Shirt Scott Porter, who does 1,000,001 things. One of those being, at the beginning of your turn, you can heal a click on a friendly character. And of course, we also played the White Shirt Scott Porter, because +1 attack map wide is also really nice. He also gives everybody +1 defense if they're adjacent to somebody who shared a keyword. So between Chthon and Scott Porter, he's adjacent to Miss Marvel, so he's going to be a 20 defense with the Impervious. Miss Marvel, again, would be like a 19 because she's adjacent to him. And, she got the shape change rollout as well. And then him giving them the +1 attack map wide means she's going to be probably a 13 most of the time. And he's going to be at least a 14 unless I perplexed him up, which I usually did to get him to a 15. But once again, in case you guys aren't as familiar with the Scott Porters, I'll go ahead and show their cards here. So you can feel free to pause and read. Again, I don't feel like going over them every time because I play them on almost every team nowadays. and it's just a lot to talk about. So we did also play actually we had both of these guys equipped this time. So we had the yellow ring on the white shirt, as we normally do. Of course, the Sinestro Core ring gives him Perplex, so we have another Perplex, and sometimes that really came up. Sometimes we needed a +2 his speed with the additional +1 here to get him to 10. That was really handy a couple times to get him all the way across the map. But otherwise, we would Perplex attacks up some more if need be. But anyway, yeah, both of these guys really good. Actually, the main strategy here, turn 1, Scott Porter here, the black shirt, would be TKing out Wong for squares. And the cool thing is, if Miss Marvel and Baby Groot were adjacent to either one of the Scott Porters, so like let's say, you know, you had them like this, they're tiny, right? You have your Scott Porter TK out Wong 4 squares over here somewhere. Then he can sidestep and carrying the Baby Groot, placing Miss Marvel adjacent because somebody moved, and now we can full move with Wong. So that was really how we got Wong all the way across the map. TK, sidestep, place, and you know, full move to phase flurry and get some massive damage in, and then follow up flurry with Miss Marvel. Now, besides, like I mentioned, having the yellow ring on white shirt Scott Porter because he gets it for free because he has all keywords all the time, I paid 10 points to also slap this Warlock sword on the black shirt Scott Porter. Gives him Blades, Claws, Fangs, Plasticity, and Shape Change. And all those things are nice. I mean, he didn't really get in there and make any attacks. I tried once, but it just didn't work out. They had a Blades Claws rollout from APOC Genesis, and so that didn't matter. But the shape change did save him a couple times, and that plasticity was huge from one of my tarot cards, which I'll talk about here in a minute as well. But yeah, basically just giving Scott Porter a second rollout. He already has super senses, giving him that shape change, and then he can take any team ability, so he would usually take Power Cosmic from Wong. So he has unoutwittable super senses and shape change, gives him a little bit more survivability. That's one thing that always sucked about the black shirt Scott Porter is like, if he gets his super senses outwitted, he just dies. He's so easy to kill. This one at least has a stop click. But yeah, so it definitely gave him more survivability. It definitely seemed like he was sticking around a lot longer in most of my games. But to be fair, they were dealing with all this in their face, in their starting area by like turn 2. So it would have been pretty hard to deal with that, to be honest. So yeah, of course, if you guys don't know, there's the Sinestro Core ring, just gives you that perplex and the ability to make constructs, which making the yellow constructs definitely was a huge help from him as well. You know, making the stop sign to barrier came up a few times, making the chainsaw to flurry blades literally won me a game in one of my games. And yeah, just super versatile, of course. You gotta do it. And then last but not least here, to round out the team, we got the Hawkeye duo. They are just a massively strong range attacker right now, one of the best figures in the game. And we of course had them equipped with the trick arrows, which can do a multitude of things. You can choose different arrows at the beginning of each game, and you can choose multiples of the same arrow. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, I chose the same arrows every single time. And that would be 2 of the 2 dangerous arrow and 1 big arrow. I felt like all I really ever needed from them. The 2 dangerous arrow literally won me the entire tournament because of its effect to choose a hit character. Instead of normal damage, deal 3 damage to the chosen character and all characters adjacent to them, and then knock them all back a square. So, you know, the cool thing is, if you mastermind that to something, if you mastermind the hit to them, you know, you still reveal this and, you know, they'll get hit, but then you still deal 3 to everybody adjacent, so you can't save yourself with Mastermind on that one. And then usually for their follow-up attack, I'd use the big arrow, and if necessary, I would use another 2 dangerous with the Quake attack that you get from the big arrow. So they'd be attacking 3 times a turn most of the time, because, of course, maybe I'm getting ahead of myself again here, but they have the amazing ability, once per turn when Hawkeye and Hawkeye make an attack after resolutions, they may make an attack. So they just get to make 2 attacks every turn range or close, doesn't matter. They also have the ability to, at the beginning of your turn, you can generate a Kate Bishop bystander. If you do, they can't use this trait until she's removed from the game. Kate Bishop has some fairly basic stats, but when she's generated, you give her a die showing any result, and she can use the standard powers printed on their card, matching her die's result. And when she's KO'd, deal them an unavoidable damage. She's also autonomous, so her actions don't count against your action total, which is pretty nice. And yeah, besides that, they have this amazing grapple arrow thing that they can free place themselves into a square of different elevation within range and line of fire, and friendly Kate Bishop bystanders can also use this trait. So yeah, great stats and powers, great improved targeting for hindering characters and while adjacent, and being able to shoot twice is nuts. So yeah, these guys could easily get across the map themselves on a small map. All you have to do is bring some elevated with you, which I did. I literally just played 3 different chunks of elevated terrain as all of my terrain, just because I wanted to make sure they had plenty of options. If I got put on a map with 0 elevation, I could put a bunch of them around, and you know, unless my opponent takes the time to blow them all up, then I'm definitely going to be able to use them. So yeah, they just place themselves 6 out because they have 6 range. They can place themselves within range and line of fire on a different elevation, and then they could running shot and then shoot 6 more, which is literally 16 squares, so they can shoot all the way across on a small map. So yeah, full map reach, double attacking, and then dropping trick arrows for massive damage. Essentially a 3 damage energy explosion type effect with the 2 dangerous arrow, and then shooting a second time, choosing the big arrow, dropping a blocking terrain marker, and getting a free quake, and then also potentially doing knockback damage from that as well. So they are just such a powerful range attacker with the trick arrows. It's not even funny. And you may notice that they're my only main attacker that's equipped, just because of how superly strong the trick arrows is. I purposefully did not want to equip Wong, but I do prefer having the steel energy top dial to counteract the damage from Chthon. However, I saw a couple other people playing Wong there today, and they were playing him with Chthon and Bucky's arm, which originally I was thinking about using because the close combat expert and the super senses on a 6 is nice. But I found that this is a very effective way to get him to that maximum damage value anyway. And I don't know, Bucky's arm being an equipment, if your opponent has a King Killmonger, having that rollout against equipped characters sucks. If your opponent has APOC and Genesis, they're just gonna, you know, if he hits them on the stop, they're just gonna blow up his equipment, and it's gonna be useless. They're gonna score those 5 points right away. And, you know, those are pretty prevalent characters right now, for sure. And there's also Prime Elsa, who only takes a max 1 against equipped characters. So there's a lot of random anti-equipment stuff going around right now. So I just tried to keep them unequipped. I will say, however, that as much as I liked having Tower 8 for the outwit and support, I do also like the idea of giving her a Lantern Ring as well, because she can pick any keyword. I think I totally glazed over that whole trait. But she can also pick any keyword when establishing theme teams. So you still have to pay the 10 points for the ring, but then you get to pick like the Lantern Core keyword so that she gets to generate the constructs for free, which is really cool. Only reason I didn't do that is because I wouldn't have had enough actions. I'm already using 1 to TK, 1 to move Wong, 1 to attack with Miss Marvel, and 1 to attack with Hawkeye and Hawkeye. So yeah, didn't really feel like it was super necessary, rather have the outwit and stuff. And besides that, she also has traded probability control because she's on a theme team for, you know, something printed on her card. So whenever he gets up there, he has his own prob and he has her prob as well. And if I don't use those, then I have them for her attacks as well. Not to mention we have Scott Porter rerolls from across the map if need be as well. So we have plenty of rerolls, super duper high stats, and we're doing a ton of attacks every turn, and we're dropping massive damage. And I mean, that's pretty much it. Besides that, my sideline also included Scrappy Doo. So he pretty much just pops out if White Shirt Scott Porter gets KO'd. Now, technically, I didn't ever do this, but you could also give her like the Mystery Ink keyword, so when she's KO'd, you could pop out Scrappy Doo. Now that I think about it, that'd be pretty cool to do. Otherwise, you could... I also played War Machine, which is just if the white shirt Scott Porter gets hit, then you pop out War Machine on click number 4. And again, I could give Stark Industries to Miss Marvel, so if she gets hit, she can pop this guy out. That is another trick you could do with her keyword cheating. Since she's already on an Avengers team, you don't need to, pick any keyword to make a theme team. And my last sideline spot went to Absorbing Man, who has the ability to pop in during the game if you get all of his pieces together. I literally only got him together one time, and it was like the only game that I lost all day. So I can't say that he really helped me out too much. He honestly just didn't really come out, and it didn't really matter when he did. So he's not super necessary. Honestly, one of the other things I thought about playing instead of him was the Agent Coulson legacy card here, because if Hawkeye and Hawkeye rolls a 6 on leadership, then he can pop out, and that just gives me another outwit and another leadership. And, he got in cap that deals with printed damage also, so that's pretty freaking nice. And he can also leadership and make more shield operatives that also have shield TA and stuff. So yeah, not too crazy of a dial, but hey, just a free extra character that could pop out. I think, honestly, I would probably swap out the Absorbing Man for him next time to try it out and see if that works any better. But yeah, that's just an idea. And last but not least, rounding out the team here with my tarot cards. I think the tarot cards were actually super important. A lot of these really helped out a lot. I will say this Ace of Pentacles card, if you use Flurry and miss one or both attacks after resolutions, you can make a close attack. I had this card specifically because, of course, Wong flurries, Miss Marvel can flurry, and we can bring out a yellow chainsaw to flurry. So there's a lot of potential flurries. And I will say this one never came up. I never saw this one, when I needed it. So it's a pretty neat card, but I didn't really see it today. This 4 of Wands was super good. It's the same thing as the Penetrating Blast card that I used to use for Iron Hammer. And this one just says when a character can use Exploit Weakness, makes a close attack after resolutions, deal 1 penetrating damage to each opposing character adjacent to a hit target. Guess what? When you flurry and hit twice with Exploit, that triggers twice. So that's really good because it gives us a bunch of extra ping damage with Wong. You hit somebody for 6 penetrating, and then the person next to him is going to take 1 penetrating after resolutions. And then you can hit somebody else next to them for 6 penetrating, and then, the guy in the middle can take another penetrating after resolutions. So you can spread out a bunch of extra free damage from this. It's really nice. Or you could also hit somebody onto a stop click, somebody besides Kong that can actually not reduce penetrating damage. And then you can punch the guy next to him and just have this ping damage finish the other one off. So really cool. Like that one a lot. It did come up and get me a lot of free damage today. 7 of Pentacles. This was actually probably the MVP card of the day for me. This came up right when I needed it a couple times, and it basically won me the whole tournament, I gotta say. It just says characters can't use improved movement abilities, and characters that can use plasticity have free half-speed move. Or free move at half speed. Same thing. So yeah, you can move Wong half his speed for free, which don't forget, replace then modify. So his 7 gets cut in half, rounded up to 4. And then you get +1 from Chthon, +1 from whatever other, perplexes you might have used. So he's at least moving 5 from this. And then you're also getting to full move after that with phase teleport to get his flurry. So this gets him, with the TK and everything, this gets him all the way across the map on even a big map, which is super useful. And like I said, that won me the tournament. The Hanged Man, I really like this card right now. I don't know why I didn't think of this before, but when you're playing Black Shirt Scott Porter, his beginning of the turn trigger to heal 1 character, 1 click anywhere on the map will happen after this. So this is really good because when this is revealed, both players can choose a friendly character and you may deal them an unavoidable damage. And then if you do while this card's in play, that character modifies their combat values +1. So this is just another easy way to get +1 all stats on Wong. We don't really need the damage, but you know, the more movement, more attack, more defense, that's all really good. Or you know, if like we're missing our baby Groot got picked off or something, then the +1 damage can come up. And then you just heal it back with Scott Porter. So really, really good. And, you know, even if he's one click down, who cares? He's going to steal energy too anyway. I played the Ace of Cups for the +1 super senses for no particular reason. I didn't really have any other good Cups card is the only real reason for that. The only other Cups card I have is like for toughness, which would only work for Scott Porter, the white shirt one. So I mean, at least I had, you know, super senses here on black shirt Scott Porter. On his stop click, he gets super senses, and they also get super senses randomly throughout the dial. So I was like, I guess this one's a little better. Plus my main attackers have precision strike, so I'm not too worried about giving my opponent the +1 senses. And especially because this card, 9 of Swords, when a character can use Precision Strike makes an attack, the attack can't be evaded and damage dealt can't be reduced below 2 instead of 1. This definitely came up a couple times as well. Super good. Like I said, both my main attackers have Precision Strike. I think even she gets Precision Strike later. So this comes up a lot and it's really useful. And that was all my tarot cards. I did play 6. I had 2 Pentacles, Wands, Major Arcana, Cups, Swords. There you go. So yeah, I actually had 6 cards. I had 2 Pentacles, 1 Swords, 1 Cups, 1 Wands, and 1 Major Arcana. And yeah, these were all really good for me. I feel like some of them, you know, did nothing. And to be honest, doing nothing is a lot better than helping your opponent out. So I think everything worked really smoothly. As far as the maps, I had from the Batman team up, I had the Batcave as my long map because there's lots of elevation to place them around. But then I also had Avengers Tower, which is the only one I would ever choose when I actually picked map a couple times. And then I also had Blitzkrieg Manhattan. That didn't really matter. Like I said, I didn't really pick map a lot unless I was forced to. I usually choose to go first because I just prefer going first, you know, because this is a pretty offensive team. So yeah, that's pretty much the team. That is, you know, everything, including our sideline here and our tarots and our equipments and the maps and the terrain and everything. That's everything I played. As far as how I did, I got the bye round 1. Round 2 was a super duper close game where I actually pulled out Chthon when Wong died, and that actually mattered because most of his characters were like 1 click left. So I managed to like ping most of them, hurt Kong, and then I had white shirt Scott Porter pull out the yellow chainsaw, and just like the scene from Peacemaker, he chainsawed the ape in half. So that was a pretty epic win. You know, that was last action because otherwise I lose from Chthon being out. So it was super duper close. That game was going to be 250 to 300 either way. And man, that was a great game. And then round 3 of Swiss, I went against Master Mold. And there was actually 3 Master Mold teams there running Matt Reed's Master Mold team. And I went against Matt Reed himself. And he's so good with the team. I definitely messed up right at the beginning, and he exploited that. And it was downhill from there. I did manage to score 175 points. To his 300s. So I was 2-1 with a lot of points going into the top cuts, and I was, I think, 3rd place actually going into top cuts. And then from there on, I have videos of all the games so you guys can see for yourself how it went. Like I said, I got 1st place, so I did end up winning all of them. Spoiler alert, sorry. But yeah, the games were great. Super duper fun day. Had a great time. Won some cool stuff. And yeah, let me know if you guys have any questions or comments about it in the comments below. If you guys enjoyed the video, don't forget to smash that like button because it does help me out a lot. And don't forget to click that subscribe button so you don't miss any future videos. And if you guys would like to help support the channel even more, you can check the links in the description for the Patreon or hit the join button down there for the YouTube memberships. Either way, as little as $1 a month gets you entered into my monthly giveaways. And you can see your name here in the credits with all these other awesome people. So if you're interested in that, make sure to check that out. But thank you guys so much for watching. Till next time, this has been Heroclix Headquarters, signing off.